What's up, creative people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Zenaida and this is Fashion with Zenai, a place to inspire fashion lovers, to share my love for fashion and DIY projects. For today's video, I'm going to show you how to sew an underbust strap crop top. So without further ado, let's jump right into the tutorial. For today's creation, I was inspired by these beautiful underbust crop top, so I decided to give it a try and put my own twist into it. For this tutorial, you will need the following tools. You can find all these materials in the description box down below. The fabric that I'm going to use is a stretchy fabric. If you want to use the same fabric for your lining, then you should have 1 meter of fabric. And if you want to use another fabric for your lining, then you should have 50 centimeter for your main fabric and 50 centimeter for your lining fabric, which makes it in total 1 meter fabric. I used size XS to create the top. For your information, my bra size is 75A, and if you're not sure about your body measurements, you can find a video on my channel on how to take your own body measurements. You can find the link in the description box. To create the crop top, you're going to need a pattern. You can find a digital pattern of this crop top on my Etsy shop. The link will be in the description box down below. The top has 5 pattern pieces. For the cutting process, you're going to cut each pattern piece on the main fabric and lining fabric. I use the main fabric also as the lining fabric. For the side front piece, you're going to cut 2 pieces on the main fabric and 2 pieces on the lining fabric. For the center front piece, you're going to place this piece on the fabric folds and cut 1 piece on the main fabric and 1 piece on the lining fabric. For the bra front piece, you're going to cut 2 pieces on the main fabric and 2 pieces on the lining fabric. For the back, you're going to place the back piece on the fabric fold and cut out 1 piece on the main fabric and 1 piece on the lining fabric. And for the back strap, you're going to cut out 2 pieces on the main fabric and 2 pieces on the lining fabric. For the front pieces, you're going to add seam allowance. The only edge that doesn't have a seam allowance is the fold line of the center front piece. For the back pieces, you're going to add 1 centimeter seam allowance on all edges. The only edge that doesn't have a seam allowance is the fold edge of the back piece. Once you've cut all the pattern pieces, you should have 5 front pieces on the main fabric and 5 front pieces on the lining fabric, including the bra. And for the back, you will need to have 3 back pieces on the main fabric and lining fabric. 2 will be for the straps and 1 piece is going to be for the back. And now we're going to start with the sewing process. Connect the edges of the side front pieces with the center front piece with the good side of the fabric facing each other. And you repeat the same steps for the lining fabric. Sew the edges with 1.5 centimeter seam. After you sew it, make sure the seams are pointed out to the side. Iron the seams flat. Turn the pieces over with the good side of the fabric facing up. Then you're going to top stitch with 1 centimeter seam from the seam line. The red line is where you're going to top stitch. And make sure that the 1.5 centimeter seam allowance underneath is pointed out to the side. So that way you should have 3 layers when you're top stitching. For the bra, you're going to gather the curvy bottom edge for each piece. Set your machine to the longest stitch length. On my machine, that's 4 centimeters. You're going to make 2 stitches. One stitch is going to be 1/4 inside the seam allowance, and the second stitch is going to be 1/4 outside the seam allowance. Before you start sewing, you want to make sure that you have long thread tails going outside the back, because you're going to use these to gather the fabric. When you get to the end of your fabric, you want to pull your fabric out and keep the long thread tails. The first thing you should do once you're done is to separate your 2 needle threads from your 2 bottom threads. Then you should tie off your upper or bottom needle thread so it doesn't get in the way when you're gathering. And you do the same on the opposite end. So, to make it clear, on the good side of the fabric, you're going to have 2 needle threads on both ends. And on the wrong side of the fabric, you're going to have 2 needle threads on both ends. Then you're going to pull the 2 threads and gather to the length of the curvy edge of your bottom piece. As you can see, in my case, I forgot to tie off the 2 bottom needle threads. As long as your 2 needle threads of the bottom doesn't get in the way, you can pull the 2 needle threads of the upper part and gather it. Then you're going to connect the main fabric pieces with the lining pieces. Then you're going to pin and sew the side edges with 1 centimeter seam. There's another option to gather the bottom edges of the bra. I gathered the bottom curvy edges of 2 main fabric pieces and lining pieces. So in my case, I had to gather 4 pieces. But you can also choose to first connect the main fabric pieces with the lining pieces, then sew the side edges, and after that, you will have 2 bra pieces to gather the curvy edges, which means you will have 2 layers to stitch on so you can gather it. For the back straps, I would suggest to mark which part is the shoulder and bottom so you don't get confused. Pin and sew the side edges with 1 centimeter seam. After you sew it, you're going to turn the straps inside out. I added a pin on the shoulder just so I know which part is the shoulder edge and main fabric, which is the outside of the crop top piece. Then you're going to sew 2 stitches so you can gather the shoulder. Gather the shoulder to the shoulder length of your bra. For my size, which is size XS, the shoulder length of the bra is 4.5 centimeters. If your main fabric is the same fabric as your lining, then you have to mark which fabric is the main fabric before turning the bra inside out. I added a pin. Connect the shoulder of the bra with the shoulder of the back strap with the good side of the fabric facing each other. Make sure the main fabric of the bra is facing the main fabric of the back straps, and the same goes for the lining. And make sure the shoulder length of the bra is the same length as the back strap. You can always adjust the back strap length by gathering it to the exact length. Repeat the same steps for the other piece. Sew the shoulder with 1 centimeter seam. Start your stitch from the seam and not from the edge. That way you can cut the corners in a triangle after you sew it. Then you're going to turn it inside out. My upper part is now the main fabric. Remove the gathering threads. Now you're going to connect the bra edge with the curvy cup edge of the bottom with the good side of the main fabric facing each other. The main fabric of my bra pieces are pointed up. Place the side corner of the bra to the upper corner of the front piece and the inner corner to the other red line of the front piece. Pin the edge. Gather the bra curvy edge length to the length of the front piece cup edge. And you repeat the same steps for the other bra piece. Then you're going to connect the lining bottom front piece with the good side of the fabric facing each other. Make sure the good side of the bottom front piece lining is facing the good side of the bra lining. Pin the edge. Sew the edge with 1 cm seam. Before you start sewing, go 1 cm down from the armhole and start stitching. Cut the center front corners in a triangle. Now you're going to connect the lining side of the back with the lining side of the front. Pin the side. And you do the same for the main fabric. Once you sew on one side, you're going to connect the straps to the back. Here is the middle. And here is where you're going to place the straps. Cross the straps first. Connect the left side of the back strap to the left part of the back piece with the good side of the main fabric facing each other. Connect the right side of the back strap to the right part of the back piece. Then you're going to connect the good side of the lining of the back to the main fabric of the back with the good side of the fabric facing each other. Pin the edge of the back and the edge of the armhole edge of the front piece. Pin the bottom edge. Sew the upper edge and bottom edge with 1 cm seam. For now, you're going to leave the side open. After sewing the edges, you're going to turn the top inside out. This is the way to show you how to sew the side. You're going to bring the top inwards. Then you're going to connect the main fabric side. It may look a little complicated, but this is the way to sew the side so you can hide the seam allowance. This is the bottom seam of the front piece. Connect it with the bottom seam of the back piece. First, you're going to pin the side of the main fabric of the bottom front piece with the side of the main fabric of the back piece. And the good side of the fabric is facing each other. Pin the side of the lining. lining, you're going to leave about 5 or 6 centimeters open so you can have an opening to turn the top inside out. Sew the side with 1 centimeter seam and don't forget to leave the open space at the lining. This is the opening. Now you're going to turn the top inside out. Stick your fingers into the opening and pull it out. Then you're going to make a channel so you can place the underwire. You're going to top stitch 1 centimeter from the left side of the cup shape all the way to the other side of the cup shape. Once it's sewn, it should look like this. Now you're going to bring the underwire into the channel. Cut 2 stitches of the thread so you can have an opening. And you do the same for the other side. From the left side opening from the inside, you're going to bring the underwire into the channel of the left cup. And you do the same for the other cup side. To finish off the top, you're going to close the opening of the channels and the opening of the side. Pin the opening of the side and sew it almost along the edge. And this is the finished underbust strap crop top. Y'all, I'm so obsessed with this crop top. It looks so nice and sexy. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video and find it helpful so you can create your own underbust strap crop top. If you create one, I would love to see a photo of your creation. You can send me a photo or you can tag me on Instagram by using the hashtag ZenIDesigns. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, share, comment. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. I see you guys in the next video. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.